Hi, welcome to WordPod, where you get your daily dose of SDGs and how to include them in your life. In this first episode, we're going to analyze a really important topic that is an issue worldwide, but this time we're going to concentrate in our beloved country, Mexico. SDGs, as the Sustainable Development Goals, also known as Global Goals, are a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure to all people enjoy peace and prosperity. These have 17 goals that help to build a better country, world, people, institutions. Are specialized in different areas to attack a problem easier and better involved. The key to all of these are that each is involved in one thing that the other is. So, by doing something in one, you are helping in another, and it goes on and on. The SDG we're going to talk about in this episode is peace, justice, and strong institutions, combined with gender equality. And the main target objective is to end abuse, exploitation, trafficking, and all forms of violence and torture against women and children. The proportion of young women and men aged 18 to 19 years who have experienced sexual violence by age 18. And the way to talk about this, and there's a need and urge to talk about this topic in specific, because I want the justice needed for all the victims of feminicidios in Mexico that need the help for more young women and men to feel safe in streets and with their relations, and not to feel threatened within any circumstance. And to the authorities to know that it wasn't because she was looking for it. Recently, there is a social concern that has been increasing at a high rate, as in numbers and in risk of violence that has been present in crimes committed against women over time. And for that, it has become public domain. Its manifestations more perceptible to the eye are seen in social media, radios, television, etc., due to the high popularity that violence has gotten daily in our country. Recently, there are lots of criteria to consider the violence that is getting placed against women, as in regionally as nationally. We can't forget that this topic isn't something new, since it has been going on years before in different states, and little by little has been expanding nationally. That's why there is some development in criteria, and have in mind the concern of everyone to know when the crime committed is a feminicide, to know how to identify it and know about the more about the topic. Legally, as the information received by all forms of media, most of times it only focuses in just only a fraction of the whole problem. In these past years, this type of act have been occurring a lot. The World Health Organization estimates that 1 of every 3 girls have suffered from physical violence in their lives. 38% of the cases of feminicidios are committed by the husband. From the 20 countries that have the greatest murder rates to women are in Latin America. The numbers in Mexico are worrying due to the great amount of dead women found. CNN Chile puts on an article that Mexico has close to 49 murders per week. Mexican society is still with lots of maleness, and this goes to the increasing of violence against women. Pitifully and despite we, in a 21st century Mexico, still is one of the countries where women are taken as objects and not people. That's why we are treated with contempt, humiliation, and violence by male. Throughout the history of mankind, there has been a diverse of injustice, inequalities to diverse ethnicities, one being a woman. One of these actions against this particular group is called maleness. This word means attitude or a way of thinking of someone that states that men are by nature superior to women. This mentality has promoted different types of actions in which women have suffered from limited opportunities throughout history, from having a voice in politics, studying engineering, lack of ranking up in companies, and having a say to what will be done in their daily life or family, getting into a point in which violence has taken place. Giving emphasis to the salary breach between men and women in the companies. According to El Economista, for every 10 people with the best salaries, 3 of those are women. This issue is not only presented in third world countries such as ours, but also in first world like Germany. These issues that goes into the topic of consequences due to maleness and putting limits to women. When we are talking about the limited opportunities that this group of the population receives, is alarming due to the fact they are only receiving only a small part of what it should be letting them to grow. How can it be that women have the right to vote and have a place in government, but only to certain positions? Why not give the vote of confidence that a woman can rule Mexico? Why not a female can represent this country? Is this because women are not fit to lead a whole nation? Or is it because men prefer to vote for other men, even though it will be worse than giving a woman as president? Here are many questions, but very few answers. Maleness have gotten these people to a position that limits their potential, giving a place special for them, and not in the good sense. In the case of business, how it can be that a woman that is given even more prepared than a guy get less wages only because she's not a man? Why in the companies gives more promotions to men than women? Lots of questions wander in our minds, and none of them is being answered. But we can get to the spread that this problem is worrying by asking people how they feel about this, if people are willing to make an effort to improve safety among women and men in streets. And we have some interviews made to people that are interested in this topic and wants to talk about it and give their points of view. First, we have licensed Norma Angélica Márquez that is going to answer some questions about it. Hola Norma, buen día.
Buen día.
Si no es mucha molestia, ¿nos podrías dar tu sincera opinión sobre este tópico que es de los feminicidios y de qué manera la sociedad puede ayudar a erradicarlos o cualquier forma de violencia en contra de las mujeres en México?
Primero que nada es fomentar los valores desde el nacimiento a nuestros hijos varones, que nos ayuden a formarlos, educarlos con amor para que puedan respetar a las mujeres, ya sea desde chiquitos hasta mayor, y que sepan que la mujer se le respeta.
Finalmente, ¿por qué cree que hay este problema? ¿Será por la educación que los padres inculcan a sus hijos o es algo que la misma sociedad va provocando?
Son ambas, ya que si no le damos la atención adecuada a nuestros hijos, se enlaza con lo que vemos en el mundo, con la violencia, y eso involucra a los jóvenes que no pasa nada y que si lo hago no tiene consecuencias, y eso tienen que tener la consecuencia para que sepan respetar desde nuestros padres y de la sociedad.
When we are getting into this topic, we can see clearly vulnerability on these individuals. Even in some cases, the law is against them just because women are less than men. I think that this issue should be prioritized by governments because we live in a world that violence is our first resource. And if women can live without fear, thanks to the laws that protect them and punishment that are responsible for those terrible acts, the world could be a much better place. We can wait till feminicidios is given a solution. We need to have actions to make it disappear from Mexico. All of this may be for the lack of education people are given since little. And we need to have in mind that this education is given from home, and we can wait for someone to educate our kids this way and for this topic. All these come from home, and schools can help you. But by the lack of homes giving this type of education or talking about it or taking it for granted, someone loses their mom, their cousin, their daughter. This hurts families, societies. This hurts Mexico. Thank you for listening. We're a pod. We'll see you next week.